Squirky. Perched on its hind legs, with its velvety soft mane, the squirky is a classic example of genetic diversity. Always cautious and alert, the squirky has the ability to take flight at any sign of danger. However, persistent hunters often prevail due to the limited wingspan, which allows only a few moments of hovering flight. The wild squirky is a traditional delicacy of the region and owes its unusually fine flavor to its mixed diet of berries, seeds, and insects. Originally native to the southern underbrush area of Ohio, the squirky is now abundant throughout the state. Rackie deer. Nocturnal, the rackie deer spends the daytime hours curled up in wooded underbrush. The antlers provide effective camouflage from predators and also act to balance the animal, offsetting the large but agile feet. When pursued, the rackie deer will run with powerful leaps at measured heights of 10 to 12 feet. The rackie deer is a meticulous eater. After a night of foraging, it will wash its food, usually small rodents or frogs, with water before eating. The long, rippled fingers also enable it to scratch the ground for insects and seeds. Good-natured and adaptable, the rackie deer flourish in the woodlands of Ohio. Squirkadile. Measuring only about a foot in length, the squirkadile possesses an appetite that is better suited to an animal twice its size. Wily, alert, and aggressive, the squirkadile is a feared predator, threatening to attack anything on land, water, or in the air. Its streamlined shape and rapid movement, along with its small but powerful wing structure and its ability to float undetected in the water, makes it a true marvel of evolutionary design. The tail, long, bushy, and erect, is becoming a favorite of adventurous collectors. In spite of this, the species has been prospering in the low-lying marsh areas of Ohio. Chuck duckalope. The sleepy-eyed chuck duckalope is a peculiar American mammal. Naturally inclined toward laziness, it seldom strays from its burrow. However, when provoked, it can accelerate to speeds of 50 miles per hour, making it a formidable match for any predator. The webbed front toes equip the animal for digging as well as aquatic propulsion. Its diet consists primarily of wild plants and berries and is often supplemented with a trip through a suburban garden. By midsummer, the chuck duckalope has grown plump to prepare for fall hibernation. Native to the Cuyahoga Valley, the animal now flourishes throughout the state of Ohio. Jackal stag. Standing erect, ears alert, eyes transfixed, the cunning jackal stag is one of the region's champion hunters. Radar-like hearing and acutely focused eyesight enable the jackal stag to detect even the slightest of movement. Once the prey is observed, usually small animals or birds, the jackal stag vents its excitement with a high-pitched barking squeal. This response also occurs when the animal is sexually aroused. Unlike many related species which mate for life, the jackal stag finds a multitude of partners and virtually procreates at will. The resulting litters often number from 2 to 3 to a dozen or more in a given year. The jackal stag lives a stoic, singular life, constantly roaming and foraging. Expert hunters recognize the 4 piercing claw prints and can track it to its daytime refuge of thickets and wooded brush where it is flushed out and often killed. The jackal stag rack and thick furry tail command top dollar from discriminating trophy collectors. Once abundant throughout the state of Ohio, the jackal stag now inhabits only the coastal areas of Lake Erie. Borodillo. Traditionally native to the American Southwest, the borodillo was transplanted to the Ohio Valley regions almost a century ago. Originally a creature of warm, temperate climates, the borodillo has adapted to the more seasonal aspects of Ohio weather. The jointed shell, which is actually modified skin overlaid with scales, acts as a body heat insulator. But more importantly, it acts as an armor-like protection from its sometimes hostile environment. From the highways, the borodillo migrated and survived. Feedings from the highway are plentiful and consistent, but very often perilous. The borodillo is the frequent victim of man's aggressive and relentless mobility. turtle. The turtle is a poignant example of displaced form and function. Once thought to be an ideal poolside pet, the turtle seemed destined for commercial immortality. However, the increasingly persistent and often abrasive gobbling sounds it emitted proved too much for pet store proprietors and patrons. Cast back into its original environment, the turtle is often seen basking alone on a favorite rock or muddy riverbank. Unlike similar breeds, the head of the turtle is so large that complete retreat into its protective shell is quite impossible. Turtles, therefore, become an easy and accessible exploit for hungry hunters. Turtle meat, when simmered properly, is said to make a hearty, satisfying stew. Snink. Looking elegant, with its lustrous brown coat and tail, the snink slinks from its den, embarking on yet another foray for food. Quick and cunning, with razor-sharp teeth and poisonous venom, the snink is a match for most any predator. Relying almost exclusively on its olfactory sense to detect and hunt the prey, the snink has no outer ear and only marginal eyesight. The rapid flicking motions of its forked tongue enable the snink to pick up odorous particles from the air and ground. Oftentimes, these odors proclaim the arrival of its most pungent adversary, man. In the never-ending quest for market share, the snink stole has become a high-fashion item and is seen by many as the contemporary symbol of wealth and affluence. Kitty cat. A true aberration of genetic experimentation has resulted in one of the finest and most widely loved of all the domestic house pets. Independent and self-sufficient, the kitty cat requires little care or expense and is often the perfect alternative to careless dogs or costly children. Docile and affectionate, the kitty cat responds to paternal overtures with a soft, rhythmic purring sound. Rarely exposed to the perils of the out-of-doors, the kitty cat finds the many comforts of home far more appealing than the call of the wild. Kitty Cat 2. Oftentimes, experimental manipulations can have unexpected results. On occasion, these results take on an unsightly, even horrific nature. The Kitty Cat 2 is a tragic case in point. Continued attempts at domestication have proven futile, as the Kitty Cat 2 seems to prefer its capricious and unsavory lifestyle. Seemingly predestined to straying, the Kitty Cat 2 has become the scourge of our modern, civilized society. Aggressive and combative, the Kitty Cat 2 makes its way through the squalor and turmoil of our darkest urban underbellies, finding solace only with vagabonds and similar outcasts it encounters. The Kitty Cat 2 is not, however, immune to exploitation. Fearless sportsmen have amassed great fortunes wagering on the Kitty Cat 2's instinctual fights to the death. These barbaric displays of inhumanity have recently been outlawed by the state, ensuring a protected, if not pathetic, existence for this most unfortunate species.